Russian Orthodox response to Putin's invasion of Ukraine. The city of Lviv in western Ukraine has changed the atmosphere of the city on weekends with balmy spring sunshine. Shortly after the air raid warning sounded, a roaring sound was heard, and black smoke rose from the communication tower near the center. A fire engine that slams a siren heads to the scene, and mothers rush to kidnap their children. Hold and run. An old woman who looked up at the sky stunned muttered, "I'm crazy." Is this a holy war for Russian President Vladimir Putin? Who is pushing for aggression? The World Heritage Pechersk Lavra on a hill overlooking the capital Kiev. Pechersk Lavra is a Russian Orthodox monastery founded around the 11th century in the Principality of Kiev, the first nation of the East Slavs. For many Russian Orthodox believers, Pechersk Lavra is the center of faith. It can be said to be the heart of the Ukrainians. It was all Kiev citizens believed that Putin, who claims the Principality of Kiev as the ancestor of Russia, will not destroy the monastery, and that the church will protect believers and those in need. There was no doubt. It was, however, when Russian troops began the invasion, Pechersk Lavra immediately closed its gates, leaving no believers or refugees. It was the gates were closed in many other Russian Orthodox churches in Kyiv when the Russian invasion began. Regarding the response to the invasion of Ukraine by Bishop Kirill, the head of the Russian Orthodox Church, Bishop Kirill said before the invasion that Russian troops are protecting peace for the Russian people, and even after the invasion. He did not criticize the Putin administration or demand a ceasefire. It was not only that, Kirill I preached in support of the invasion of Ukraine. Russia and Ukraine are one race that shares the same faith, hope and prayer. Foreign forces are trying to tear our relations. The tragic conflict is a foreign plot to undermine Russia. It was Putin called Zelensky a nationalist and a neo-Nazi with Western support. It is a statement that corresponds to the words that justify the aggression. War is a reward for the sins of the Ukrainians. Does this statement by Bishop Cyril permeate many of the clergy under the Russian Orthodox Church? Irina, who has evacuated from the eastern part of the country, which was devastated by the Russian army's attack, he talked about his experience. On the way to escape the journey of about 1,000 kilometers, he relied on the evacuation shelters of churches around the world to secure sleeping places and meals. When I arrived in Pochev, 150 kilometers east of Lviv, there was a monastery of the Russian Orthodox Church, and I went to the abbey for help. However, he was coldly treated as there is no place to accommodate refugees. The priest of the abbey said that he had said about the Russian invasion, "The Ukrainians are sinful people. This war is a reward for their sins." It was when Irina replied, "Is Putin killing children and women the devil?" He answered, "It wasn't Putin's mistake, it was God's decision." It was Irina, who has attended the Russian Orthodox Church since she was a child, has lost her word. All the other churches, including the Protestant Church, which I was completely unfamiliar with, welcomed me warmly. I will never go to the Russian Orthodox Church again. From the attitude of Patriarch Kirill, who repeats remarks that do not seem to be a priest, it can be seen that Russia's invasion of Ukraine also has the meaning of a religious war. 70% of Ukrainian people are believers in the Eastern Orthodox Church. The Eastern Orthodox Church, one of the three major Christian denominations, is the state religion of the Byzantine Empire, centered on Constantinople, now Istanbul, has evolved. Currently, there are about 300 million followers in the world, mainly in Russia, Eastern Europe, and Greece. It was the composition of the Orthodox Church of Ukraine is complicated to reflect the history of the region, which has been a place of power struggle between East and West. Currently, there are three churches: the Russian Orthodox Church, the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, which became independent in 2019, and the Eastern Catholic Church. Under such circumstances, The attitude of Patriarch Kirill in support of Putin's invasion is Bishop Kirill has been so close to Putin that it is said that the Russian Orthodox Church is an institution of the Russian government. The 25th of April 2022 INU Research Organization, President, Professor Kubo.
Goodbye.